I'm really excited for this playlist because there's a lot of Bell Witch, because that Bell Witch and Aerial Ruins release just came out. I'm like really stoked. We're gonna do some hamstring and heart opening today. I like to do some hamstring opening in order to ease the motion of like opening up the front of the body, because what often happens is like if you get like really tight in the back side of your body, then you can't like open up into it. So we're gonna start really hamstring-like, and that's why I said grab a scarf or a strap. So if you have something like this, I'm just gonna call it a strap because that's what my brain wants to do. We've already discussed how my brain just doesn't want to let go of certain ideas. So. I was reading Brene Brown's Dare to Lead again, and I forgot to mark the page. Good job, April. There's a space in here about trust and how that really impacts the way that we exist with other people. She says that once we're in lockdown, we really can't hear or process anything that's being said because we have been hijacked by the limbic system and we're in emotional survival mode. I don't know if anybody else here has ever been in that place where you are just so overwhelmed and overloaded with an experience that you just simply cannot be open. And of course, we can't have anything change that way. Can't change ourselves, can't change other people. Charles Feltman wrote this book called The Thin Book of Trust, and she was talking about him because all of her research that she does totally aligns with these statements. Feltman defines trust as choosing to risk making something you value vulnerable to another person's actions. And he describes distrust as deciding that what is important to me is not safe with this person in this situation. And I love what he says here about trust as in choosing to risk making something about yourself vulnerable to another person, because I just immediately grabbed onto the connection between when you love and care for another human being, whether it's a romantic partner, it's a child, a parent, a friend, a community member, teacher. When we are choosing to offer ourselves and make ourselves vulnerable to them, that requires an intermeshing of love and trust. And you can't have one without the other. You can't say that you love other people. You can't say that you love your community members, your friends, but that you don't trust them. And trust is often built up like slowly over time. We don't just like wake up in the morning and go like, I love and trust everybody. Brene Brown talks a lot about this marble jar analogy. Like over time, we end up putting these marbles into the trust jar, and sometimes you take some out, but you didn't just throw everything out of the jar in most cases, at least. And I found a lot of solace inside of myself lately by trying to focus on knowing that I do trust the people that I trust to follow through with the things that I believe they're going to follow through on. I think that continues throughout the world, and I also trust myself, and I trust that I am okay and I am loved and I am love right in here, as much as I'm also loved. Take your index finger and your thumb together, the squishy spot at the bottom of your thumb. We're going to take that into the center of your forehead. I'm assuming you washed your hands because you're awesome. Just brush outwards towards your temples a few times. And then starting at the sides of your nose, go out to your temples along your cheekbones. And then starting at your temples, going down to your chin along your jawline. And starting at the sides of your nose, going down to your chin along your laugh lines. And then taking your fingertips and bringing them underneath and behind your ears. There's a soft spot back there that feels nice to massage. And if you lift up on the bony spots that are right up above the soft spots, you saw my back got a lot taller. Just go ahead and take 3 more breaths, gently lifting up from that point. See if any more space works its way into your spine. Maybe you have a few more marbles in the long spine jar. a deep breath in and deep breath out. And when you're ready, rest your hands in your lap. See if you can still lift up from that space behind your ears. Feel the breath moving in your chest. Feel your rib cage expanding and then softening. By all means, breathe in your belly as well. And thinking about this movement of the breath in the chest to find a softening around your heart space. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Again, like that. For 3 ohms or death growls, breathing in. Start to open your eyes. We're going to come down onto our backs. Make sure you've got your strap or whatever you're using as a strap. Come down flat. And you're going to take, you're going to start off with a twist. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock around to start relaxing the low back. And then you're going to take your right leg and wrap it around your left leg. And then open your arms out like a T or a cactus shape. You get to choose. And then let your legs roll over towards the left. And let your right foot kind of catch. So you can see how my knees don't go all the way over. A little stretch to the outside of your hip. You're ready for some chest opening already. Start to push down into the back of your left arm so the right arm opens up, the right side of the chest opens up. 2 more deep breaths. 1 more deep breath. Finish your exhale. And then unwind your legs. Take them back in. Cross your left thigh over your right thigh, and then let the legs go over to your right, and you'll catch yourself kind of with the foot there. And then looking upwards or over towards your left, you might press down into the back of the right arm to help roll the left collarbone more open. And if that doesn't make sense to you, or it's a little bit more intense than you'd like to have happening in your practice, you'll just let that go. Take 1 more big full round of breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. And then unwinding your legs, bringing them back into the center, and then setting the soles of your feet down. Grab onto your strap now for real. I'm going to take it and loop it around your foot, but more by the heel than by your toes. So a little bit lower on your foot. You'll take your hands, wrap them around the edges of your strap if you've got the room, because it just gives a little bit better grip. And let the leg be nice and far from you to start off with. See if you can just make that leg really straight. So engaging these muscles right up above the knee. then think of pushing the foot into the strap and pushing the top of your thigh bone down towards your other foot. So you get a little bit more of the hips down onto the floor. And then if you have the space, start to bring the legs slowly closer to you. Go slowly. Better to go one marble at a time. I'm going to stop making that analogy. And when you feel like you need to stop, or if you feel like your hip lifts, then you'll back off a little bit, push that hip down, and push the foot into your strap. Stay there 2 more breaths. Big breath out. And then bend into the leg, maybe even go ahead and just hold on to your thigh. Start to straighten your other leg, so your left leg. And you can keep this right leg pulled in, you can let the knee bend, that's okay. But push out through the sole of your left foot. So now your left leg is more engaged. Stay there 2 more breaths. Starting to open up the front of the left hip. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then relax the left leg. If you lost the strap from your right leg, you'll put it back there and then loop both ends of the strap around your right hand. Now put your left hand on your left hip and make that left leg really engaged again. You might have a longer grip on that strap. You're going to turn your right knee and toe out to the side so you have that rotation in the whole leg. And then move your right leg slowly out to the side. See if you can keep pushing through the left foot to keep your left hip down. You'll notice I am nowhere near the floor. Keep pushing out through the left foot. Keep pushing out through the left foot. Stop when your body says stop. One more exhale. And then draw that right leg back up. And you'll take the strap off of your foot. Just set the soles of both feet down and notice how your legs feel a little bit different. One of these days I'm going to actually start with the left leg so that we'll have a different opening in the hips. And then you'll take your strap and loop it around on the bottom of your left foot, and you'll wrap up your hands and find not worrying about getting that leg close to you just yet, but pushing the foot into the strap, pushing the left thigh bone, the left hip down towards your right foot. Relaxing the fronts of your shoulders, the jaw muscles, allowing the breath to move steadily. And the foot to push outwards into the hand. Super straight leg. Really open at the back of that knee joint. Lots of space back there. 2 more breaths. Excellent. And if you don't want to let the strap go, maybe you just bend into your left leg more so that it feels better to take the right leg out. You can decide how you want to hold on to this leg with what devices, hands, etc. Can be very bent, that's fine. But your right leg is now very powerful. You can feel the opening up of the front of the hip. Like the sole of your foot is trying to make an imprint out in the space in front of you. Relax through the left thigh, push outwards through the right foot. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then relax the right leg a little bit so that you can come back to the left side. So if the strap went off of your foot, you'll put it back there. You'll put both ends of the strap in your left hand. And then you'll turn the knee and the toe so they face out to the left. So the whole leg rotates out. You want to have maybe the leg a little bit straighter. doesn't matter if it's totally straight now, but your right leg becomes very active. And you'll keep the leg active, right hand up right hip, as you move the left leg out to the left. I can go further than that. Good workshop. Okay. Keep the right foot pressing out. There's a little bit of a turning of your belly over towards the right. You should have some engagement through your abdominals. Big breath in. Last breath out. Draw the leg back to the center. Go ahead and bend into the knees, removing your strap. Setting it down by your side. Feet on the floor. Place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. Stay here for a moment, just observing the sensations around your hips. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bring your knees into your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, sit up. Just go. And then try that 2 more times. Roll back, take an inhale. Exhale, sit up. And then roll back, inhale. Last time, exhale, get up there. And then you're going to extend your legs out in front of you. You might take some flesh and rearrange it so that you can really sit up tall. You're going to grab back to your strap. Take it out in front of you. My hands are a little bit wider than my shoulders, yeah? So just a little bit. Toes are lifted. Legs can be bent if you're feeling tenderness in your back. If you have the capacity to straighten those legs, so straighten those legs. Notice how excited my toes are. I'm going to turn my hands to face towards each other and then draw my belly back to my spine. Stay here 2 more breaths. And big breath in. Big breath out. Now I'm going to lift the strap up as much as I can. And you'll notice it's not quite above my head. It's a little bit in front of my head. But I'm reaching now that strap upwards into space. Feeling a little bit more heat in my belly. Good. Relax the muscles on the sides of your neck. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Relax your legs, relax your arms. If when we do this, you feel unnecessary pressure in your shoulders, just widen your hands a little bit more. We're going to do that 1 more time, and I'm going to add on a little bit more heat and excitement. Make your legs straight. Take your arms in front of you. Lift from the backs of your ears. Draw the belly in. Palms face towards each other. Stay here 2 breaths. Like pulling on that strap. There's some tension going on. Exhaling, and then lifting it up. And not just lifting up your arms, but lifting up from that space behind your ears so your spine is taller. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And now you are going to slide that hands out on that strap so you can get a little bit of a back bend going on. Now I have my arms behind me. They're not a lot behind me, so I want to still be able to lift up and engage my abdominals. Now, as you're here, see if you can soften your throat. Maybe that lets your chest open more. 2 more breaths. Soften your throat. 1 more breath. Exhale. And then gently bring the strap down in front of you. Go ahead and take it off to your sides. Take your hands down behind your back, bend into your knees. Just give a gentle lift of your chest forward, wrapping your elbows back. Little bit of pressure in the arms. Just enough to open the chest. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Relaxing. And we're going to come into our hands and knees, so go ahead and swing your legs behind you. Come up onto fingertips here. And then we're going to work through some cat and cow. As you drop your belly, looking up, breathing in cow pose. Exhale, rounding cat pose, tucking the tail. Inhaling cow pose, exhaling cat pose. Couple more like that. Just loosening up the spine. Make sure you're really dropping your head when you drop your head. Like really let it go. 2 more. Really let the back of the head go. Last one. I'm going to come out towards a more neutral spine here. Go ahead and come down onto your hands. You might even come down onto your forearms. You're going to take your right leg back behind you. I'm going to lift it up as much as you're able to. Try to keep your toes facing down. See if from here you can come into a little bit more cow spine and that leg might lift up. Your leg might not be as high as mine, it might be higher. Don't worry about how high it gets. Can you get it long and extend it back behind you so you're opening up the front of this hip? Good. And if you're on elbows, the leg's going to go up a lot higher. So it's up to you. I think it's a little harder to be on my hands, so that's why I'm doing this one. You can play with both. You've got time. I know you're still here. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, pull that knee in towards your chest. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee into your chest. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee into your chest. And then inhale, set it down. Ooh, get your hips back. Oh. Circly swoops. A lot of bum. So we gotta do the other one. You're gonna take your leg, your left leg back behind you. And what's easy to do is see how my hips start to lift and my toes turn out. I wanna turn the toes down and now my hips are even. And I wanna get a little bit more cow spine, so letting the heart reach forward, the shoulders back, the tailbone lifts, maybe the leg lifts. You can try your forearms. Come back up, it's up to you. I know. Are you still lifting and extending forward in that chest? A lot of abs here. One more breath in. Exhale, knee pulls in round the spine. Inhale, take the leg back. Exhale, knee pulls in. One more inhale, take it back. Exhale, pull it in, and then inhale, set it down. We're gonna go ahead and widen the knees, toes towards each other. Sit back to child's pose, rest your forehead down, and walk your fingertips forward. Take big breaths, feeling the back of your rib cage open with your breath now. So still moving the rib cage with the expansion of the lungs. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then pulling yourself back up into table pose. I'm going to turn to face you. Take your right foot forward and bring your hands up onto your left thigh. You need to pad up that knee. You might take and fold over your mat to the side. It folds that way too. Or grab a blanket or something. You don't have to even have a yoga mat to be here. I'm going to try to open the front of this hip up and then take the arms up. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms up. And now use the strength in your center to lift that heart up. And maybe the gaze goes up, maybe the hands go back. Maybe you're just working on staying here and lifting up your chest. Keep lifting. A lot of long torso today. One more breath in. Exhale, take your hands down. You're going to leave your left hand down. Take your right hand onto your thigh. Open your shoulder into a twist. Pull the right hip towards your back foot. And Then instead of leaving the hand on the thigh, you might take the hand into your back and push into that hand to roll the shoulder back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And take both hands down. Slide your right leg back and bring your left foot forward. I'm going to take your hands up onto your front thigh. Make sure you're coming forward so that the front of this hip is open. Reach the arms up, interlace your fingers, press the hands up. And think of opening the front of your torso. Look up if that's interesting to you. Keep pushing into the front foot to keep your balance steady. Deep inhale. Exhale. Taking the hands down. And then bringing out, taking your hand up onto your thigh. We're going to twist, rolling the shoulder back, and not pushing the hip out, but rather drawing the hips back so they're steady and even. And then this hand comes to the back. And you'll notice I push into the hand, and the shoulder starts to open up. My twist gets deeper. Go as deep as you have available right now. Not as deep as you did yesterday or as deep as you will next week. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Start to relax your twist. Take that leg back. I'm going to bring the hands down about shoulder width apart or a little bit wider than shoulder width maybe. Curl your toes under. Push into your hands and lift your hips up, downward dog. Relax your head. Walk through your heels a bit. Make sure that the weight isn't going forward. You want to try to send your hips back, even if that means your knees are very bent. One more breath in. And then exhale, relax the knees down. Take one hand, shake it out. Set it down, take the other hand, shake it out, get the blood pumping, set it down. Keep the toes curled under, push back to stretch out the bottoms of your feet. One more breath. One more exhale. And then press back into downward facing dog. This time, see how straight you can make the legs. And you don't have, like this could be your straight. Or this could be your straight. But if they go straight and you go here, you bend the knees and send your hips back. One more inhale. One more exhale. Now look forward. Bring your right foot as far forward as you can. You might get it all the way there. You might have got here, and then you grab the ankle, and then you take yourself up. Okay. Now that you're here, be sure that your front knee faces forward. You don't even have to have as wide of legs as I do. Just go ahead and take your arms up. One more breath in. Your chest lifting, and then lean forward. Your front leg, already in chair pose. You can take a couple of steps at the back leg, or one step to come into chair pose, two legs. So my feet are towards each other. Last exhale, and then stand it up. When you get here, reach your arms up. Lift up long through your spine, all of those same extensions that we've been doing in more seated postures. Take a big breath in. And exhale, fold it forward. Just take your hands down, step both feet back. It could be lots of steps. And find your way back in downward dog. Now to bring your leg forward, there's lots of different things you can do. Often bending your knees will help. Engaging that belly drawing in is going to help, and sometimes you just need to do many steps and grab your ankle and put the foot where you want it to be. Take a big breath in, big breath out, and then look forward. Take that left foot up by your left hand, and then if you got to scooch it, you scooch it. You slowly bring the hands up, and then lift the arms. Interlace your fingers, press those palms up. So can you get long here, pressing those palms up, and then stay long as you separate the arms. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lean forward, hands at your heart. I find it easier to come into chair pose to make those transitions with my hands at my heart. If you want to make it harder, reach your arms out like chair pose. Look forward. Bring your right foot up to your left foot. Keep your knees bent. And then straighten your legs. Come all the way up. Take a wide stance in your legs. Take your hands, interlace the fingers behind your back. Go ahead and put both hands at the left side of your waist. Draw your elbows towards each other. And then relax your chin down towards, or your nose down towards your fingertips. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lift your head up. Take your hands over to the other side. Keeping those elbows down and back. Drop your nose down towards your fingers. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more round of breath. Relax with your exhale. And start to lift your head up. Unwind your arms. We're going to go into Warrior Two. Face over to your right side. Turn the left toes in a little bit more. And find this open stance. We're going to go from Warrior Two to Peaceful Warrior. And you don't want to think of going back. You want to think of going out and up. So you're going to take your right hand or left hand down to your left thigh. And you're moving your heart up towards your hand. And then exhale. Soften it back down. Inhale. Lift it up. Notice my legs stay steady. Exhale. Warrior Two. Give yourself time with the breath to flow between these a bit. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Straighten the legs. Turn all 10 toes to face forward. Take the hands behind your back. You can interlace your fingers or hold onto your hips. Come forward with an open chest. Maybe give yourself a little bubble head around when you get there. If you can push down more into all parts of your foot, all parts of your feet. Last exhale. Now everybody take your hands to your hips, bend your knees, draw the elbows back, draw the belly in, lead with the heart to come up, and then move into Warrior Two on the other side. Your toes all the way over, a little bit over, bend into the left leg, the arms come out. Try to come to this place where you do have your arms totally even. We're going to take an inhale to lift up and out. I get longer and taller. And exhale, balance the arms in between. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, balance that. You'll see I have a little bit of a twist up towards that arm too. And then settle. 2 more times with your breath. Go nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten your legs. Turn the toes to face forward. Mostly, you're going to go out with the toes just a little bit. Take your hands to your hips. Draw your elbows back. Feel your chest lift. Now, as you lean forward, send your hips back just a little. And it's going to be the same shape with your spine and your hips. We're just going to change a little bit. Come back up. You're going to bend into your right leg. Notice I still have my hips going back and my heart going forward. Really lifting my chest up here. Exhale. Lift up. Come back to the center. And then we'll go over into a bent left leg. And my hips go back. They don't go over there. My knee doesn't go over there. My hips go back and my heart goes forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. Coming on up. And then bring your legs in. We're going to take our standing balance as half moon. We're going to do it totally balancing, like not worrying about what you want to hold on to. If you're not feeling super balancy today and there's a chair, a bed, whatever, I've got this here, go for it. I forgot to tell you earlier, we are going to need something around, like a bed, a couch, a chair. If you have a really large, lazy dog, that will be acceptable too. It won't be really wild when we do it later, but if you don't happen to have one of those things around, grab it, or just be aware. I will let you know as we're going towards Shavasana, you'll need that later. I'll show the first side, where I've got my bed there that I could just go over to if I felt inclined to. So if you've got your right toes pointed off towards whatever you might hold on to, and you might not, then you're going to have your left toes pointed out in a 90-degree angle away. Now open your arms and feel your chest opening out to those fingertips. We're going to come up onto the standing leg. And you're going to lift up so you're not sinking into that hip, you're lifting up. And then we'll take this foot up. And I want to try to keep my arms and my lifted foot and my torso all on the same line as I reach out and forward. Maybe you put your hand on something because that's going to help you balance. Can you not let the leg fall behind you? Because you'll notice that that lets go of all of the control you have here. Can you keep that leg in line? A little bit of underbutt. Breathing out. Come all the way up. Relax your legs. And all this doesn't go quite as smooth as it just did. I might fall over on this side. I'm going to show without the bed there, but you can just turn around and do it that way. Okay? I'm going to come up on top of your left foot is going to be facing out in front of you. Your right foot is going to be facing to your side. As you open your arms, you're going to feel your chest expanding. And then as you get up on that leg, up and over it, lift the other foot. You might come here. Yes. So I don't want to let that leg go behind me because then I'm going to lose the shape like I just am. Yeah. Are you still breathing? Falling over is kind of fun sometimes. Just trust yourself that you're going to be okay. And then come all the way back up. Set your foot down. Wiggle things out a little bit. Bring your feet about hip width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward. Bend into your knees as much as you need. Drop your head down. Wiggle out your neck, your shoulders perhaps. Bend a little bit more into your right leg than your left leg. Take your left arm open just to stretch out the side of this hip that was supporting you. And then take it to the other side. Taking your left hand down, opening that right leg. Now your left leg's more bent. Exhale. Down to the center. Bend both knees. Slowly roll it up. I'm going to take warrior one. Take your right foot forward and your left foot back. Turn those toes up. The right leg is bent forward. Try to square those hips forward. You're going to take your arms up, make Vira Mudra or steeple fingers, Charlie's Angels fingers, and you're going to feel the chest lifting up. Really extending upwards. I'm going to shift a little bit. Really going up and out. Take another inhale. And then take your arms back. Try to keep your chest that lifted. I'm just avoiding my bookshelf. And then lean forward over the front leg. It's common for us to let our chest go as we try to get really close. Don't worry about how close you get. You really keep your chest lifted. Exhale. Come on up. Relax your shoulders. Switch to the other side. Take the other foot forward. Probably on your left leg now, your back toes are turned up slightly. There's some width between your legs. Take the arms up. This time when you interlace your fingers, interlace them the weird way, so you have your awkward Charlie's Angels on. And I'm not going back. I'm trying to find the most space as possible in between all of my vertebrae, just like when we were lifting our ears up earlier. Deep breath in. Exhale, take the arms back. Reach those hands back, reach the heart forward. Come over your front leg. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Draw your belly in. Relax your arms. Take both feet forward. Bringing the feet in underneath your hips. We're going to start working back down towards the ground. Take an inhale and lift your arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Roll your shoulders back and come halfway up. Feel that lifting of the chest up and forward. Exhale, fold it down. Come all the way back up. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, lifting up again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. This time as you fold down, plant your hands, step your feet back, find downward facing dog. Relax your heels. Feel those hips lifting up. And just like when you're reaching your arms up into the sky, you're pushing those arms out with a long, straight spine. Breathing in. Exhale. Go ahead and lower your knees down. I'm trying to look at my space. I have to walk my legs back a little bit. You're going to leave your hips above your knees. Walk your hands forward. Find puppy dog pose. I like to rest my forehead. Some people say try to rest your chin. I feel like that's unnecessarily uncomfortable in my neck. But if you like that, you might or might not. We also call this heart melting shape. Let your heart melt down. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then lift your head up. Walk your hands back in. I might just sit on your heels for just a moment. We're going to come into up dog next, and I don't teach it a lot, especially in like online classes, because I'm not there to be with you in case anything starts to go a little bit weird in your back. We're going to do it two ways. We're going to start with your hips on the ground, which is not like the most traditional way in order to teach or execute the pose, or with the thighs on the ground, I'm sorry. So your thighs are going to be on the ground. But if your thighs are on the ground, you have the ability to kind of lift your belly button up to your heart. Try that even just where you're at. Like think of like belly button lifting up to the heart. So you have a little bit more of this core strength expanding your chest. And try to relax your jaw muscles and your throat while you're there. Just as when we began, you find a little bit more softening of the whole chest space when we soften the throat. So just be mindful of that. Sometimes we get into up dog and it's like, is this okay? No, not okay. So go ahead and bring your hands forward. You're going to have your hands about a little bit wider than your shoulders maybe, or think of a doorway's distance apart, so that you can rest your legs forward. So my legs are on the ground. This may not be your biggest back bend, and you don't have to have your hips all the way forward. You could be way more back here. But when you get here, you're going to relax, you're going to soften your shoulders back, and then you're going to lift the belly up to the heart. So I'm really trying to expand my collarbones. Breathing in. Exhale. Just pull your hips back and wiggle them a little bit side to side. So I like, especially in a warm-up, coming into that thigh down place so that I can practice lifting my belly up to my heart. We're going to come from lowering down and then come up into that up dog. So you're going to come on down. Didn't have to be graceful. And then we usually come up into cobra pose, and you can come up into cobra pose. If that up dog is too much for your back today, then this is a little bit lower, but it's a little stronger for the back muscles, so that could be a good choice for you. Or you're going to push the floor away, come up, leave those thighs on the ground, just give one inhale to lift your belly up to your heart, soften your jaw, and then soften it down. Rest one side of your head down, one cheek. Wiggle your hips a little bit side to side. Now slide your hands back a little bit more for this last round. If you feel inclined, you might lift your thighs off of the ground. So you're pushing down into the hands and the tops of the feet. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back. We're going to come up. Now I have my thighs hovering, and I'm lifting even more with my belly up to my heart. And then exhale, lower it down, rest the other cheek. Maybe you make a pillow for your head with your hands. Wiggle your hips side to side. I sort of like to be a little bit softer on my back at this point and just kind of stay down here. And then you'll bend into one leg, reach back, and grab for the foot. Oftentimes you would say if you want a deeper back bend, you come up onto this elbow and turn it over, and then grab onto that foot like this. This feels absolutely fine. Quite nice thigh stretch, but make sure that your hip isn't lifting up on that leg, that you're stretching the thigh. You want to reach the hip down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Gently release that leg. Send the foot back behind you. And then switch to the other side. I'm going to turn away or something. Yeah. You'll reach back and grab for that foot. You want to be up on the forearms, turn the hand over and grab the foot. Have a lot more back bend. Don't let this hip lift up. Relax it down. Ooh, I don't want to sit in my shoulder joint. 2 more breaths. Big breath in. Big breath out. Slowly release the foot. Don't let the knee joint snap. Come on down. Make a pillow for your head with your hands. Rest your head however it's comfortable to you. Let your pelvis rock side to side. Options now. You've got actually many options as usual. If you want to use your strap or your scarf to hold on to your feet instead of doing it with your hands, you've got that handy. You could just kind of loop it around. It might be a little bit awkward and you'll hold that way. Or you could bend and hold on to the tops of your feet. I'm holding onto the pinky toe edge. My fingers are on the big toe edges of my feet. So I'm wrapping in from the outside. If that's too much back bend for you, if you think as we go into this, ooh, bad news bears, you're going to leave your legs long and you're going to come into this high flying locust pose or shalabhasana. Those of us who are able to or interested in grabbing the feet are going to grab the feet. And we're going to come up kind of a low bow pose. Kind of give it a little bit of a lift. The shoulders are back, heart's forward. Can you lift your belly to your heart? Can you soften your jaw? Take one more breath in. And then relax it down. Maybe you hold on to your feet. Maybe you just rest one side of your head. When we come up into our last round, if you can watch my hips for a moment, what you will do is you're going to lift
the hips up off of the ground so the thigh bones kind of get a little bit more nestled in the pelvis when we're up there. And then you'll drop the pelvis down and the legs will go up higher. I'll say that again, don't worry. Come on into center, so you're looking forward. We're gonna come up a little bit, and then you're gonna lift your thigh bones up, just a little, to the fronts of the hips, yeah? And then as you push the hips back down, maybe the legs go up much higher. Yeah.
Keep pushing the feet back against the hands. Lift the belly up to the heart, soften your jaw, breathe in. Exhale, take it down. Make a pillow for your head with your hands.
Rock those heels side to side. And then relax the legs. Come up onto your hands and knees. A little side to side, cat and cow. And when you've evened that out, come down and take a seat. If sitting up straight is difficult for you, grab a pillow or a block to sit on. It's going to help give you a little bit of a lift, especially since you might be kind of tired in all of these long, straight spine muscles. We'll really work those today. I'm going to take your left leg and cross it over your right leg and lift your right toes. Bring your left arm in nice and close to you. You might even have to bring your hand onto the pillow or scooch the pillow so you can bring your hand onto the floor. And then you're going to twist over towards your left side. Let your belly soften now. In fact, let your heart fall in now. Just a bit. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Big inhale. Big exhale. Relaxing the twist. And then switching the cross of your legs. I'm just going to switch my seat a little. You'll have that leg out. Crossing your right leg up and over. Right arm is in nice and close to your hips. It's not back here. You're not falling back. Snuggling in really close to your hip. Lift the left toes. I've got this hug on the thigh. I still lift long through the spine in the inhales. I'm letting more of my belly and my heart rest back on the exhales. We're starting to find some release around the back muscles that we've worked today. 2 more breaths. Big breath in. Big breath out. Unwind. We're going to take the legs and bring the soles of the feet up with the knees separated. And hold onto your feet. Lift your heart. Relax your shoulders. Lengthen the spine. Try not to put a back bend into it. Just a tall, strong skeleton. 2 more breaths. And if sitting like this is comfortable to you, or taking the feet further away is comfortable to you, or sitting crisscross applesauce is better, I knew it was coming. You'll just find a steady, comfortable seat for you as long as you're balanced on your hips. Again, I do recommend sitting up on something. At this point, I'm going to take a little stretch to the arms. You're going to take, let's say your left arm on top of your right. You might wrap up your hands. You might press the backs of your hands, or give yourself a hug and maybe massage the backs of the shoulders with your fingertips. If you've got the wrap of your hands, keep long through the spine.
but settle your heart back. So, might look like not this, but this. 2 more breaths. Big exhale. Unwind your arms. Just wrap them up the other way. You'll either have hands intertwined, back of hands, hugging yourself. Lifted at the backs of the ears. Soften the belly and the heart space. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Unwind and release your arms. We're going to come into a kind of a side sit here. So I've got both of my knees over towards the left. If you're sitting up on anything, you might want to remove it. If that was a bad idea, just put it back under. It's okay that this hip is lifted. Take your left arm over towards your right knee. I'm just going to walk those right fingertips out. And then look over your left shoulder. So I'm reaching these fingertips out, kind of releasing the side of my neck there. Dropping my nose down towards my chin. Finish your exhale. Then lifting your head up. You're going to switch the legs over. So I'll have both knees turning over towards the right. This hip is a little lifted. I don't want to go all the way into it. I want to try to settle it down. And take your right hand over to your left. And then reaching the left arm out. And turning your nose down towards your shoulder. Can you notice the points of tightness, of resistance, of mistrust that the body is going to find the right space, that the body knows how to care and relax and balance itself. Big exhale. Start to lift your head up. Relax your arms. We're going to come down onto our backs. This is where you may want to have a chair handy or a bed, a couch. I know most of us practice in spaces where those are around. If you also have a wall handy, you can use a wall and put your legs up that when we get there. But start off on your back, not really exactly at that space, just having it maybe nearby. And then you'll come down, knees bent, feet on the floor, hips on the floor. Just give a moment for your back muscles to release to gravity. Maybe your eyebrow muscles need to release as well. And then take your right leg up in the air and make some circles in your ankle and your toes. Working the circle in the other direction. And then flexing your right foot, toe up towards the shin, bend the knee, put the ankle on the left knee so you have this open shape. Staying here or taking the right arm in between the legs and holding on to the left thigh. Releasing your hips down as much as possible, trying to balance the weight in the pelvis as much as possible. If you don't know what balance the weight in the pelvis means, if you try to think about it, work on it a little bit and it's not making sense, don't worry about it. Just breathe.
more breaths. Big exhale. Keeping the ankle at the knee, you're going to drop the foot down. And what you're going to do is going to take this shape and just tilt it all the way over so that your right foot comes to the floor. You have this big twist on the outside of your right hip and right thigh. You can even turn your right ribs more towards the floor if the space is available. Maybe you open your arms. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then gently start to unwind the legs. Come back to the center. We'll set the soles of both feet down. If you need to adjust your hips and find them in a little more even space, you do. And then take your left leg up in the air. Wiggle your ankle and your toes around in a circular motion. And then going in the opposite direction. Toes towards your face, strong flexion of the foot, and then taking the ankle onto the opposite knee. Staying here, or the left arm goes in between and both hands hold onto the right thigh to draw the legs in, but more than the legs draw in, you release the hips down. Not nearly so important just how close the legs get in. And you rotate and release the hip. And you balance your pelvis. Breath in. Deep exhale. Keep the shape of the legs, release your hands, put the right foot on the floor, and then tilt the shape over till your left foot comes to the floor, relaxing the outside of your left hip, maybe opening the arms in a way that's comfortable to you. Let your left ribs roll open, let your belly soften. One more breath in. One more breath out. And start to unwind your legs, coming into the center. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Rock around a little bit. See what feels good to you. With knees wide, open your feet out. Maybe you reach up and hold the outsides of your feet or your ankles, or hold the backs of your knees, taking happy baby. You can be still or you can wiggle around a little bit. Two more breaths in this gentle inversion. Big exhale. And then release your feet. I'm going to roll over to your side. Very gently lift yourself up to a seat. And we're going to end practice today in a bit of a inversion again. So we're going to take your hips really close to whatever you're going to put your legs up on. So I scooch them in really, really close to my bed here. If you've got a wall, you can use the wall. You just bring your bum close to the base of the chair. And you'll put your legs up on it and then come down onto your back. Having the legs up on a couch or a chair is a little bit less intensive than having your legs up the wall, but you're welcome to do legs up against the wall too. And you'll find a comfortable place to put your hands, maybe one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And just enjoy this sensation of letting your body's circulatory systems are kind of working in reverse a little bit. It's kind of good to flush out your system being upside down, confusing your body every so often. And there's also something about inversions that are very grounding and soothing to a frantic nervous system, because it really brings all of your attention to where you are. The body's like, well, I don't know about this. We're usually arranged the other way. What's going on? And because of that, you become very present. So enjoy these next several minutes, just being present and soft and still, enjoying this experience. If your feet become tingly, if for some reason this is no longer serving you and you would rather come into a more traditional Shavasana or coming into a seated meditation, you're welcome to make that change at any time. Just be soft with yourself as you make that transition. Take it slow, nice and easy. Rest well.
to wait. Very well. I wait. Lengthening. Who are you beneath your mask? My costume, such a disguise, that you don't recognize. Voice, it's familiar. Furiosa, that's who you are. You're not dead. So, the doctor answers like I pass those
Start to come back to your body.
to live. Don't.
Feeling your breath move. I need more awareness and more energy. And if you've still got your legs up on something, starting to draw them in towards your torso. Eventually rolling yourself over to one side, offering a moment of gratitude to yourself for coming onto your mat today. And trusting that this was the right use of your time this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you're at. When you're ready, take your time coming to your own version of a comfortable seat.
Type 1.
Put your hands together at your heart.
They begin to show their naked
And is that quote that justice is what love looks like in public? I think maybe trust is what love looks like inside of ourselves. Seal our practice with one Om. Taking a big breath in. Bowing down to the love, to the light and the darkness that resides within each of our hearts. Namaste. Hey friends. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, April.
Thank you. If you have a chance to toss anything in for class, if you can't, no, I'm like super glad you're here. Don't worry about it. If you like, my PayPal is this April at yogakindarocks.com. If you do Cash App, it's April Kinda Rocks. And again, it's not required. I appreciate that you're here. That's like a big thing. And you want to share this with your friends, watch videos. Requests, comments, anything? Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Catherine. Oh, awesome. Good. I go for the grounding, Catherine. Like, we want to be very, like, you know, gritty, I guess.
So good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All taller now. Yes.
Go forth and be awesome, everybody. Let me know if you have any feedback or anything you want to share. I always love music suggestions, and I appreciate you hanging out. I think it's wonderful.